would request Shri Aman Singh ji, Principal Secretary Electronics, IT and Energy of Chhattisgarh, to please come up on stage and say a few words. Thank you.
Respected Chief Minister, Dr. Aman Singh Saab, respected Chief Secretary, Shri Vivek Dhan Saab, Shri Chaube ji, Shri Jitendra Gupta ji, my Senior Secretary, Shri Subodh Singh ji, Shri Dinesh Srivastava ji, my colleagues, all the invitees, ladies and gentlemen. It is a pleasure and a privilege for me to welcome all of you in today's Gen Next Summit 2015 in Chhattisgarh. Many of you are familiar that Chhattisgarh is doing remarkably well in the field of industry, particularly core industry. Our Honorable Chief Minister is into his third term. He has already completed 11 years as Chief Minister, one of the longest serving Chief Minister, and this is 12th year running. And when he assumed charge for the third time, he had a very clear priority and focus that in this term he would like IT and ITES industry to play a major role in the growth of the state. To take you back, when he became Chief Minister for the first time, he paid attention on the core sector, the result of which is that whether it is aluminium, cement, steel, power, Chhattisgarh is the engine of growth for whole of India. In the second term, we call as second wave of growth, he focused on creating a new capital city, which we proudly say is not only the first greenfield city of 21st century in India, but also truly the first smart city of India. And today, everybody wants to be part of Naya Raipur's success story. Similarly, in the third term, he decided to go for IT, ITES and electronic, which is also aligning with the Digital India and Make in India campaign. He personally guided us to come out with a new policy for electronic and IT and ITES services, which we brought and is effective from 1st November 2014. We have paid a very focused attention on manufacturing, on software production, and also on providing software services. All of us are aware that the BPO is a very important component of IT landscape of India. In fact, globally, the BPO world scenario is very encouraging. At present, the market is almost 9 lakh crore rupees. And by 2017, it is likely to go to almost rupees 12 lakh crore. In India also, it is playing a very important role. It is almost 1,50,000 crore presently, and it is growing at the rate of 9% per annum. It presently employs almost 10 lakh people. Chhattisgarh, now with a focused strategy, wants a share of this pie, and we have created a policy framework tailoring to this sector's requirement, which I can say is the best as far as any state is concerned. The key differentiator on account of which this sector has been growing is mainly the cost advantage which we have in terms of the manpower cost vis-a-vis rest of the world. The second is the availability of talent pool, and third is tremendous improve in the infrastructure, particularly the telecom infrastructure. But we all know that the competitive advantage which India had is slowly shrinking. All the other countries, particularly in Asia, are soon catching up. China is breathing on our neck, and countries like Philippines, Brazil, Indonesia, Malaysia are also catching up. How does India maintain its competitive advantage? Today, those cities which are doing well in the BPO or BPM sectors are losing their initial advantage of cost differentials. The cost of living, as we know, is becoming increasingly high in places like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad. In fact, today Raipur enjoys the same cost differential advantage vis-a-vis the other metros or tier 1 city of India, which once upon a time these cities enjoyed vis-a-vis Western countries, particularly USA. In fact, in the availability of manpower also, today place like Raipur, Durg Bhilai, and in general Chhattisgarh has not only cost differential but also quality manpower available. We produce almost 30,000 engineers every year. Many of them are working in the state and many of them are migrating to other states and also outside India. The soil of Chhattisgarh has a very unique characteristic. Most of these people are rooted to Chhattisgarh and they want to work here. If such initiative is taken, then many of them would prefer to work in state like Chhattisgarh. In fact, if we actually compare, we will see that in terms of the cost advantage for somebody with an experience of, let's say, 1 to 2 years, in Chhattisgarh you can very easily get somebody to work for you at a cost of 11,000. This is as per a survey. And same person, if you want in, let's say, Bangalore, you have to fork almost 50% extra, 17,000. In Delhi again, 50% extra. Chandigarh, 17%. Chennai, 30%. Ahmedabad, 33%. The government has launched a very massive program for skilling. We are the first state in India to guarantee right to skill upgradation. And we have a very unique program which is being done by IT department to bridge the skill gaps in the field of IT, whether it is soft skills or any other skill. So if there is a gap, we are willing to bridge that gap with the help of government aid. If you even compare the operating cost, you would see that whether it is cost of housing, whether it is cost of land, or whether it is the cost of power, which is a very important input, Chhattisgarh enjoys a huge cost differential advantage. Let's take power. Today, 1 unit of electricity cost around 5 rupees 10 paisa in Chhattisgarh. Honorable Chief Minister has taken a decision that for IT industry, the cost of supply would always be pegged to the average cost of supply. As you know, whenever a tariff of power is built, there is a cross subsidy built into the tariff itself, and it is minimum plus 20% to minus 20%. Normally, industry subsidizes for other category of consumer. But what Chief Minister has said is that IT industry will not subsidize for any other sector. So for next 20 years, you would continue to pay only at the average cost of supply. If you compare this, in Delhi it is 8 rupees 50 paisa, in Mumbai it is 7 rupees 10 paisa, and Bangalore it is 6 rupees 15 paisa, and Hyderabad it is 9 rupees. And of course, availability of power itself, there is a big, huge question mark. So here it is not only cheap, 35% cheaper than the national average cost, but also quality power and round the clock. Similarly, if you compare cost of housing, in Delhi it is 15,000 rupees per square feet, Mumbai 20,000, Bangalore 12,000, Hyderabad 6,000, and in Raipur it is not more than 2,000. So there is a huge advantage. If you talk about land per square feet, in Delhi it is 18,000, Mumbai it is not available, Bangalore it is 15,000, Hyderabad it is 3,500, and can you guess, in Raipur it is only 27 rupees. 80% of the premium on land has been waived off in place like Naya Raipur. Even if you talk about crime rate, so you just talk of any variable, you will be surprised that there is a huge surprise, a pleasant surprise in store for you. Chhattisgarh is doing remarkably well. It is one of the great success story of this century. For past 4 years, we have been growing at more than 7%, whereas it is 2% more than the national average. We spend maximum on development expenditure as a percentage of GSDP. The unemployment rate for us is only 1.4% as against a national average of over 4%. So you think of a parameter, Chhattisgarh is doing very well, and I would like to invite you to be part of this great success stories. Honorable Chief Minister has been paying a lot of attention. In fact, it was only a couple of days ago, all of you must be aware that the SoftBank chairman, Mr. Masa Son from Japan, was in India. He had a meeting with Prime Minister along with Mr. Sunil Bharti Mittal and Foxconn. They have set up a joint venture to invest US $30 billion in India in the solar sector. That just 2 days ago, Mr. Piyush Goyal was here. He introduced CM to Mr. Son, and our Chief Minister called up Mr. Son. He was in Hyderabad, and he persuaded him to come to Raipur. And in fact, due to efforts of our Chief Minister, all the clearances were given in half an hour, DGCA, etc. And Mr. Son, along with Sunil Bharti Mittal, came here. Also the Foxconn team. They had a meeting with Chief Minister, and they were hugely impressed with Naya Raipur. And there is a big possibility that Foxconn might be contemplating investing in Naya Raipur to set up an electronic manufacturing facility. Similarly, the joint venture of SoftBank along with Airtel is seriously looking at Rajnandgaon as a place to set up a solar fabrication facility. They are very soon going to send an advanced team to have a detailed discussion with us. And Honorable CM has given us very clear directions and guidance to pull all stops to ensure that such investments take place on accelerated mode. CHIPS is the nodal agency to provide you all the service. It gives you a seamless experience. And CEO CHIPS, Mr. Saurabh, is the single point of contact for any one of you dealing with the state government. So in this backdrop, it is going to be immensely financially and otherwise rewarding experience if you invest in Chhattisgarh. I would like to welcome you once again. Thank you very much.